Wanya back inside the wrestling basement, coming at you with 5 potential Hell in a Cell matches that we could see at this year's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. So without further ado, let's jump right into today's video. So the first Hell in a Cell match that we could potentially see, and WWE is pretty much, pointing at it, that this potentially will be the Sasha Banks and Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now, we all know Sasha Banks and Bayley feud is about to take over Friday Night SmackDown. Now, they got Bayley going against Nikki Cross and the Lacey Evans and the Oscar just recently, but we all know that the WWE is clearly and obviously doing all this just to build up Sasha Banks, and it's kind of going to be a weird dynamic, but more than likely that match is definitely going to happen at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. But like right now, as far as the storyline, it usually be the reverse, the opposite. They usually have Sasha Banks as the heel, Bayley as the babyface, but now it appears that Bayley is the top heel and Sasha Banks is a babyface, and it's pretty weird that they got Sasha Banks as a good guy, considering the fact that she got this blue wig on. We all know when she debuted that blue wig just recently when she returned to the WWE from whatever her hiatus was, that she turned heel on Natalia, and that's what it's been ever since then. So it's kind of weird dynamic between the two ex-best friends. So we pretty much can expect to see a Hell in a Cell match for the SmackDown Women's Championship between the champion Bayley and her ex-best friend Sasha Banks this year. The second Hell in a Cell match that we could potentially see this year at the pay-per-view is Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. Now, we all know Drew McIntyre is hot right now, so as far as him and Randy Orton in the Hell in a Cell match, there'll be a 5-star match, and I honestly wouldn't mind seeing that as the main event, because we all know that Randy Orton gets sick and he can take it to, new levels as far as a Hell in a Cell match. He'd have been in this type of match superstars like The Undertaker, and shit, that's enough to say the least. Like, he done been in a match with Triple H. He done been in the Hell in a Cell match with the best of the best. And Drew McIntyre, on the other hand, he ain't really got that experience like Randy Orton as far as the Hell in a Cell match. So, if we do see this match in the Hell in a Cell, if Randy Orton do decide to let Drew McIntyre go over on him, that would really make Drew McIntyre a credible WWE champion. Now, he can defeat Randy Orton in a regular match. He can defeat him in a last man standing match. He can do it in a ladder match. That's all, fun and dandy. But a Hell in a Cell match, like they always got the build up around the Hell in a Cell match, that it starts with 2 competitors, but regardless of whoever win the match, they never truly win the match because their souls are left inside of the cell. So as far as the whole Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton, this whole storyline between the two superstars, I honestly won't be surprised if this match do happen inside the Hell in a Cell match this year. And you gotta think, if Drew McIntyre lose to Randy Orton is definitely not going to lose that championship anytime soon if he do find a way to get that championship off of Drew McIntyre. But like I said, this is one of the possibilities that we could see at this year's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. The next Hell in a Cell match that we could potentially see this year will have to go to Dominik Mysterio versus Seth Rollins. Now, when Dominik Mysterio first debuted, I really didn't expect this much out of him. Dominik Mysterio has really exceeded, my expectations as far as his WWE main roster career so far. Dominik Mysterio, in my eyes and my projection, I can see Dominik Mysterio being the U.S. champion top of 2021. Like, whenever Dominik Mysterio's in the ring, I don't see no botches. It's like he been doing this stuff ever since he was a child or something. Like, this wrestling stuff is truly in his DNA, and he's been nothing but impressive. And for crying out loud, they got this man going against superstars like Seth Rollins, multiple-time world champion, future Hall of Famer. So for him to be out there looking that impressive against Seth Rollins, he done been in, last man standing matches or whatever that match was, a street fight match with Seth Rollins. He went against Buddy Murphy. He defeated Buddy Murphy twice, and that's not a understatement as far as his career. Buddy Murphy, a former cruiserweight champion. This dude is out here really fighting world champions, and he's looking very impressive. And even if he do lose a Hell in a Cell match to Seth Rollins, who cares? He's in his training stage. I honestly, out of all these potential matches that we could see at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, this one is one I would love to see, because when Dominik Mysterio's in the ring, I already know once he disappears off the screen, that means he finna go top rope, he finna go high in the sky, and he finna jump on somebody, and I can see him doing some death-defying come Hell in a Cell in this match against Seth Rollins. two superstars that I say Dominik Mysterio is a combination of, it would have to go to Jeff Hardy and Rob Van Dam. Like, clear and cut. Like, that Dominik Mysterio is definitely a future champion. Hell, he might be a future world champion, but I know for a fact, if he do get this match against Seth Rollins, more than likely, like I said, he might lose, but that don't really matter. This dude is definitely projected to be a champion in the near future. So I definitely look forward to seeing a Seth Rollins versus Dominik Mysterio Hell in a Cell match. 5 stars, definitely. Another Hell in a Cell match that we could potentially see this year at the pay-per-view would have to go to Jeff Hardy versus Sami Zayn. Of course, the IC champion on the line now. As far as Jeff Hardy and Sami Zayn, this whole storyline, of course, you know we can't forget about AJ Styles. I pretty much predicted that Sami Zayn was going to walk out of that triple threat ladder match with the Intercontinental Champion, and that's exactly what happened now. I really didn't see him handcuffing Jeff Hardy ear to a ladder and cuffing AJ Styles up to a, you know, he definitely cuffed Jeff. He got Jeff Hardy good. He tangled both of them guys up. As far as Sami Zayn versus Jeff Hardy in a Hell in a Cell match, well, we seen Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton in the Hell in a Cell match, and that was definitely a 5-star match. As far as Sami Zayn and Jeff Hardy, I think out of all of these matches, this is one that's least likely to happen because I honestly can't see Jeff Hardy and Sami Zayn running around no Hell in a Cell match for no 10-15 minutes. I just don't see the vision. But as far as Jeff Hardy, I can definitely see him backstage pushing for a match like this because, again, Jeff Hardy's one of those type of daredevil superstars, and I think he wouldn't risk it all to get his Intercontinental Championship back. And it's just the Sami Zayn that I don't see in the Hell in a Cell match. I feel as though a Hell in a Cell match is kind of like a heavyweight type of gig, and this is not no offense to Sami Zayn, but I honestly just don't see him in the Hell in a Cell match. But if they was to do this, more than likely it would definitely be for the Intercontinental Champion, and Jeff Hardy would definitely crash and burn, and that would definitely be the reason that he lose that Intercontinental Championship match to Sami Zayn. So, like I said, it's not really much to say about that. That's just something that we could potentially see at this year's pay-per-view. But as far as those two superstars, of course, I can definitely see Jeff Hardy. And I've been saying I say definitely and okay, and you know, I said, like, I guess I'm like on my vocabulary list as far as the channel, but I can definitely see Jeff Hardy crashing and burning and losing to Sami Zayn. And the 5th and last potential Hell in a Cell match that we could see this year would have to go to Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, and Roman Reigns. Now, I strongly feel as though the Jey Uso and Jim Uso and the Roman Reigns storyline is far from over. I don't think that Roman Reigns finna continue to beat up on Jey Uso. I'm not gonna say it was a one and done thing, but as far as like the friendly rivalry, I think it's over because, you know, his heel status, it ain't gonna get no greater by beating on his family because it make the Usos look stupid for the Roman Reigns to beat on them and beat them down bad, only for them to turn around and come to his aid and assist him because, contrary to what y'all believe, the Usos is really the only thing Roman Reigns got. Seth Rollins, he got disciples. He got some more heels that are bad up with him. I honestly don't think nobody like Roman Reigns. I'm not talking about backstage, but on stream. Ain't nobody finna run out there and hit Roman Reigns. Not somebody that call himself the big dog. So, as far as him and his cousins, them are really his only allies. And as far as Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, the Hell in a Cell match, of course, there would definitely be a 5-star match. And of course, you gotta know it'll definitely be for the Universal Champion. Now, we all seen what happened with Bray Wyatt, The Fiend in the last Hell in a Cell match. It was devastating. It was horrible. That was the first time ever I seen the Hell in a Cell match get stopped. And how ironic, Roman Reigns, he had that Hell in a Cell match with Braun Strowman. Brock Lesnar kicked down the door, and that match ended. That was a stupid Hell in a Cell match. And then Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, and Seth Rollins in the Hell in a Cell match. They ended that Hell in a Cell match. So maybe this is gonna be a curse match between the two superstars in the Hell in a Cell match because neither one of these superstars got a good track record in the Hell in a Cell match. So since both of them technically lost their respective Hell in a Cell matches those separate nights, we need to find us a winner as far as Roman Reigns and The Fiend in the Universal Championship match inside of the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. And I honestly wouldn't mind seeing that. I know that'd be a 5-star match, and we all know that Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, is definitely next in line for a Universal Championship match. And, you know, as far as like the other contenders, Braun Strowman, I think they pretty much done shipped him over to Monday Night Raw, especially with this Raw Underground stuff going on. So it only makes sense for The Fiend to be next in line. But the big question is, will Roman Reigns be able to defeat The Fiend? And we all know The Fiend, he's very terrifying. He's a very mystical superstar. You can compare him to superstars like The Undertaker and Kane as far as character-wise. But Roman Reigns with this new, fire and persona and all this momentum he riding on, I honestly don't know what to expect as far as these two superstars if they was to go about doing a Hell in a Cell match between these two stars. But like I said, this is just potential Hell in a Cell match that we could see this year at the pay-per-view. So, and if I had to choose a winner of that match, I definitely had to go with Roman Reigns because I strongly feel as though that low blow is mightier than the claw. So, with that being the end of today's video on 5 potential Hell in a Cell match that we could see this year at the pay-per-view. Feel free to smash the like button, super kick subscribe button, comment down below, and hit the bell notification. Till next time, this is the Wrestling Basement.